Welcome to the webinar. My name is John McClelland. 20 years ago, I shocked my friends, my family, and my industry of surgical products and orthopedic implants by walking away from millions of dollars of income in one of the most prestigious positions in business to explore a new company and a new kind of income. Well, it turned out for me and thousands of people on my team to be the best move of our lives. It was at that time that I first met the person that I get to introduce to you today, our featured presenter. He's going to share with you not only how he built his massive business by carefully selecting when and where he focused his time and efforts, but also why he is predicting the single biggest launch in industry history and how all of us can participate in it. I find it fascinating that Nathan has worked with this same company for nearly a quarter of a century. This is at a time where so many people go chasing the new hot deal. He's going to discuss what keeps him here and why this company is poised to grow more in the next 5 years than any of the previous years. Yes, what is about to happen is an industry first. I'd say it's an industry best. I admire Nathan's vision, his commitment to helping others. He's been a great friend. He's a great husband, father, and now grandfather, and in my opinion, the best leader in the industry today. Welcome, Nathan Ricks.
Well, thank you, John. Appreciate being with you today and being able to share this information. I think you're absolutely right. It's going to be the biggest launch in the history of this industry, and that's going to happen here in the next 49 weeks. So very exciting to be able to spend a few minutes on this today with you, and hopefully we can share that with our vision, our excitement with many other people out there. John, thanks for all those great compliments and introductions. I just want to say at the outset that this has been the ride of a lifetime. It has been incredible to be able to be involved in this company for the last many years, more than 23 years now. And you made me feel old, John, when you said almost a quarter of a century. I was like, wow, that's a long time. But we have learned a lot, and truly the company continues to improve and continues to get better and better. And that's really our quest. We want to make sure that this becomes the most highly respected opportunity that anybody could analyze and could participate in. And today we're going to do that by covering 5 key points. But before we jump into those 5 points and talk about them in detail, I'd like to just give you just a quick snapshot of really what the overall objective is here. When I was introduced to this business literally more than 23 years ago by my brother-in-law said a couple of phrases that made the world of difference to me. I had always thought about having a different way to make money when I was in sales, and that sales career spanned from AT&T to real estate to other things. And the whole time I'm in sales, I'm always thinking, how can I sell something bigger? I've only got so many hours in the day, so I got to sell bigger things if I want to make more money in those same hours. And that was because I just didn't understand the concept of leverage. And the first day my brother-in-law called me about Nu Skin, he basically said to me, Nathan, your real problem is you're in the wrong vehicle. And he wasn't talking about my car that I was driving. He was talking about my financial vehicle that I was using to make my money in my life. And at that time, it was real estate. And he simply said to me, it's like you're pedaling a 10-speed bicycle. He said, me, I'm driving a Ferrari, and it doesn't matter how fast you pedal that 10 speed, you will never catch me in my Ferrari. And that simple analogy stuck in my head literally for the next 2 weeks. As I would go to my real estate office, I'd analyze and say, now, why is this thing a bicycle? Why is his thing a Ferrari? And I started to see the differences. And what we're going to describe to you today is a business vehicle that is radically different than anything that most of you have ever been involved in before. And it generates something called recurring income. It's income that continues to show up to your mailbox or in your bank account every month, in the end, irrespective of what you personally do. Most people are the focal point of their income generation. They have to show up every day at some place called work to make money, and then once they go home, they don't make money anymore. And we think that's a significantly inferior way to generate income for you and your family. We know that we have a much better way, a much stronger proposition, and that is the ability to create a leveraged income stream, an income stream that in the end doesn't depend on our personal efforts on a daily basis at all, because we've created a network that generates volume that we earn commissions on, and we end up getting this recurring income. It's not a salary, not a wage. It's really not even a commission. It's recurring income, and it's significantly difficult to ever find a way to create this kind of income. But if you could ever do it, it's worth any effort or any sacrifice that it would be required to create it, because it is so potent, it is so powerful, and it gives you such a feeling of security and confidence, unlike anybody really has in their lives. So that's something that we experience, and that drives us to continue to share this with other people like yourself. All right, let's just jump in to these key points that we're going to talk about today. We have 5 areas that we're going to address, and the first one is market trends. The trends in the economy are nothing more than where money is flowing now. And when we're entrepreneurs and we look at analyzing a new business, the first key important question is, where is the money flowing today in the economy? We have a $15 trillion economy in the U.S., the largest economy in the world. And what we're looking for in that economy is, where is the money flowing? It's big enough that money is always flowing somewhere. It does not always flow in the same place. And we do not want to make the mistake of confusing a fad for a trend. We're looking for long-term movements of money in certain sectors of the economy that are big enough in size and scope that a lot of people can participate. And we want to identify those as quickly as we can, and then we want to position ourselves in front of those trends and let them sweep us along. And this is one of the great secrets of being successful in any business. Number 2 is to have the right kind of products and science. Many times people in our industry of networking will say, oh, the products don't really matter. It's really more the marketing concept. There could be nothing further from the truth. We know from many years of experience that you must have products that have patents, copyrights, intellectual property. They've got to be unique to your company. And if they are, that means that people have to come to you to get them. They can't find them anyplace else. And that starts to create a reason for you to exist in the marketplace. If your products don't have real validity and have real value embedded in those products, you have no reason to exist. The marketplace will get rid of you eventually, and maybe very quickly. So we have that. The third thing is the company. You can have the biggest trends pushing you. You can have the greatest products. But if your company cannot develop, cannot package, cannot ship, cannot commission, cannot customer service, the basic business functions of your products and your business, then you're out of business again. So you've got to have a great company behind you, which we do. The fourth area is compensation. You've got to have enough compensation to truly motivate people. And this compensation, as we have described, is very unique. It's called recurring income, and we'll show you how that works. The last area, number 5, is timing. And you've heard it said many times that timing is everything. Why is the timing so critical for the next 49 weeks? We're going to show you that as we go through this presentation. All right, let's go back and just talk about trends for a moment, and I'll tell you where I'm going as we move between these 5 key points that we're discussing today. This company, Nu Skin, has always focused on the anti-aging trend. Okay, that's the marketplace that we're pursuing. Why is this going to be a $1 trillion market by 2025? The next 12 years we're staring at here, it'll be at $1 trillion. There's not very many markets of that size. It is going to be that big because the factor that is driving the growth and making the money move in this area is the fact that people are today living longer than ever before. And if they're going to live longer, they want to not only live long, they want to live well. So they want to look better longer, and they want to live better longer. And our company makes products that help people do that. That is the anti-aging marketplace. And we are probably, I don't want to say we're the very best, but we are one of the very top companies who've identified this anti-aging marketplace, and we are focused on it 100% and doing a phenomenal job. Now, looking at this next slide, we're going to just segment this anti-aging trend. We're going to break it down into other sub-markets or sub-trends that we're going to attack. And we attack lots of different ones, but this is the one we're going to focus on for the next 49 weeks and beyond, and that is the epidemic of obesity. Today, we have more people overweight or obese than at any time in the history of this world. And if you look at the report from the Robert Wood Foundation, which was published just a few weeks ago, and they publish that annually, a report on obesity in America, and we could include Canada, we can take North America into this. We are maybe today, possibly we're looking at the first generation that will have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. That has never happened before in history. If you look at this screen, you can see a very heavy child on the left side of your screen. It's not a laughing matter. This is a very, very serious concern that everybody has about obesity in children. We're talking about 10-year-olds with cardiovascular disease. We're talking about a very sedentary lifestyle, a lifestyle filled with all kinds of screens and video games and different things where they're not playing steal the flag and kick the can like we did when we were kids. The activity level is much less, and the diet is significantly impacted. If you were to have dinner with your child every night of the year, you would get 365 chances or opportunities to try to teach them about food and how to eat and what are their vegetables and why should they consume them and what to stay away from. And the problem is most parents don't really know what to say anymore because the family dinner has gone away, and children are exposed through all those screens they're watching every day to over 10,000 impressions from fast food companies promoting all the wrong kinds of foods that those kids should not be eating. If it's not serious enough yet, then think about this. When you have small children like the one on the screen right here that are that heavy, their feet collapse. The arches of their feet collapse. That brings their knees from a biomechanical point of view inward, so their knees become knocking. They start knocking together. They're knock-kneed, and that pushes their hips into a strange configuration. And these children grow up with this extra weight crushing the development of their legs, and they literally grow up deformed. And it's because parents don't understand and don't take it seriously enough. If you look at a heavy person who was heavy through their adolescent years, they walk in a very strange way with their kind of throw their feet out in front of them because their knees hit together. And it's not a pretty sight. They're literally deformed for the rest of their lives. You know, it's time to get it together. We've got to start making some changes here. If you look at this next slide here, this is also very interesting. This slide shows the difference in obesity by state between 1985 and the year 2010. These numbers come from the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you look at 1985 and you look at the legend on the bottom, the white states had no data reported. There just wasn't any tracking of the percentage of people obese in those states in 1985. The light blue is less than 10%. The medium blue is 10 to 15%. The dark blue is 15 to 20. Then you'll see the tan areas show up. They're 20 to 25% obese. And then the orange area, 25 to 30, and the red area is 30+% of the population of those states are obese. And you contrast what's happened in the last 25 years in America, it is disgusting. I mean, you can see a very sick nation. In fact, this issue of obesity today and being overweight, the overweight and obese population combined, 69% of the population overweight or obese. This problem alone will bankrupt the United States government. This problem alone is something that we cannot afford. And now with the assurance that Obamacare will be fully implemented over the next 4 years, we are literally all in this together. You can no longer say, well, you know, I can eat what I want. It's my body. I can be overweight if I want to be, or I can smoke if I want. It's my body. Don't bug me. Well, guess what? You can do those things, but we are all paying for it. And if we rated your health insurance the same way that the auto insurance companies rate your driving record, you know, are you being reckless with your health? And would your premium, if it was rated that way, be something that would be unaffordable for you? If that's an answer that's affirmative, then you need to make some changes. And apparently 69% of the population need to make changes today. So this is something that is of a critical nature. And obviously the approaches we've been using are not working, okay? They do not have anything to do with having any kind of success. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we do something new. And that's what our company has now been working on, and it's going to release here in the next 49 weeks. It's a new approach to weight management. And it's not just, lose your fat. It's not just a diet. I think we could all categorically say that diets don't work. And so what we are proposing is a multi-phase process. Yes, phase 1 is about losing body fat. But by the time you get through the 5th section, the 5th phase of this program, you will be absolutely fit, and we would consider you 100% healthy and truly well. And so that's the process. We're going to move people along a wellness continuum so that you can end up in a place that will be very positive and will make a difference in the long-term value, the long-term quality of life that you will enjoy.